Hi folks, hope you're doing well. Welcome to day 7 of my 30-30 challenge, reflections on online learning, 30 videos in 30 days with tips to help make online learning better. Please hit the subscribe button down below and don't forget to download our free ebook, The ABCs of Online Learning. You know, one of the biggest mistakes I saw people making this past year was trying to recreate the classroom online. But, you know, as you learned, online learning is a very different thing from classroom teaching. But yet, still many of you can try to hang on. And, you know, how many of you made virtual ensemble videos? They look really cool, but they're a lot of work. And you were the one that ended up doing most of it. You know, so as I mentioned in a previous video, I think we need to understand the capabilities and work around them. So let me give you an example from one of my classes. This class is set in the recording studio. It was designed around learning to use the gear and we have there. Well, of course, that presents a problem. And so one of the projects, experimenting with microphones and placement techniques, was just not going to be possible at all. So instead, I had them design a home studio. And in this way, we were at least able to cover the basics of microphones in a real, authentic situation. And we ended up dealing with a lot of other issues too, like acoustics and other gear and things like that. You know, that's not ideal, but it was okay. And then next, we did the first half of the microphone lab project, which is that they researched the different microphones that we had and decided which ones they would try to use on various instruments and what placement techniques they would use. You know, they found a lot of great resources on the internet and where they could hear and compare the different microphones and the different placements. And so when we had a brief window after the class was over and they could get back on campus, they were ready and they went right into the studio and they learned about that firsthand. Now, the second project was to manage a recording project. And once again, the studio wasn't available, so this ended up being a remote recording project. And through networking, they had to find bands and musicians to participate, and then they had to find ways to record them remotely. Obviously, the specific outcomes had changed, but the general goal of learning about recording was the same, and the students recognized the value that remote recording was going to be important to them in the future. The moral of the story is that we have to teach our students and not just our subjects. You know, I didn't teach our students to use our recording studio, which was what I intended, and instead I just taught them about recording. And similarly, you could, rather than directing an ensemble, you know, you can teach them something to make them better ensemble members. So thanks for joining me. Please click the subscribe button, follow us on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll see you tomorrow.